Once upon a time, in a cozy corner of the countryside, lived two best friends. Sean, a spirited and curious sheep with a penchant for adventure, and Bailey, a cautious but caring sheep with a heart as warm as her wool. They were inseparable, always seen grazing together in the vast meadows or napping under the shady oak tree. One sunny morning, as the flock lazed in the meadow, Sean's eyes caught sight of the distant hills, their peaks teasing with the promise of unexplored pastures. His adventurous spirit was sparked. "Bailey!" Sean bleated excitedly. "What if we went beyond the hills to find the legendary clover meadow? They say the clovers there are the juiciest and the sweetest." Bailey's eyes widened. "But Sean, the hills are far, and we might get lost. What about Farmer Ted? He'll worry." Sean, ever the charmer, nudged Bailey. "Come on, Bailey. Think of the adventure. Besides, we'll be back before the flock even notices." With a reluctant sigh, Bailey agreed, knowing she couldn't let Sean go alone. Together, they trotted toward the hills, their fluffy tails bobbing with excitement and trepidation. As they journeyed, the hills became steeper and the paths trickier. They encountered a mischievous squirrel who offered them directions, for a price. "One of your tufts of wool, and I'll guide you," he chattered. Sean, ever the negotiator, offered a tuft from his fluffiest side, while Bailey hesitated, worried they'd end up looking like woolly scarecrows. With the squirrel's directions, they trotted on, braving babbling brooks and dodging curious crows. Finally, as the sun began its descent, they reached the fabled clover meadow. It was as magnificent as the tales had promised. The clovers sparkled in the golden light, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms. Sean and Bailey nibbled to their heart's content, their worries melting away with each delicious bite. But as the stars began to twinkle, Bailey's thoughts returned to home. "Sean, it's getting dark. We should head back. Farmer Ted will be looking for us." Reluctantly, Sean agreed. But just as they turned to leave, they heard a rustle. From the bushes emerged the rest of their flock, led by none other than Farmer Ted. "Sean! Bailey! We've been looking everywhere!" Farmer Ted chuckled, his eyes twinkling with relief. "Looks like you found the clover meadow," he said, ruffling their wool. "Let's all head back together before it gets too dark." As they journeyed home under the moonlit sky, Bailey whispered to Sean, "Next time, let's include the flock in our plans. Adventures are more fun with everyone." Sean grinned. "Agreed, Bailey. But admit it, this was a brilliant adventure." And so, the two friends, with hearts full of joy and tummies full of clovers, returned to the safety of their pasture, ready to share the tale of their grand adventure with their flock. And from that day on, Sean and Bailey became the woolly wanderers, always ready for the next adventure, together with a sprinkle of humor and a whole lot of heart.